Jump to the wild, wild west. Won't you take me to the wild, wild west? Is that Cisco singing that?
I actually don't know. I don't remember that.
I think it is.
I don't remember.
He jumps in with that thong, 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 thong. Do you not remember that song?
No, the thong song?
Yeah, I was like, you paused for a second.
Well, because I hate that song. Look at what? That's like what? I don't know why.
Let me sing it again.
Yeah, I don't know. That song really irritates me. I really hate that song.
You ready?
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Woo! Hey, everybody. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, 10 calories in a sugar-free Red Bull.
I like all the warnings on the back of it.
There's what warnings? Don't.
Not recommended for children, pregnant, or nursing women, and persons sensitive to caffeine. I'm sure all energy drinks have that.
That's fair.
Like not for.
Well,
children.
we're gonna die.
Not for children. I'm like, I drink this as probably too young.
I don't think I think I had my first Red Bull when I was 17, maybe.
Boom.
Oh, did you hit the thing?
Yeah.
Hit the spring. All right, sorry guys. Let's talk to the audience now. How are you guys doing?
Hello, everyone.
We're in a weird energy mood.
Welcome. We've had an afternoon already.
Yeah, we have. Well, welcome. Today's review episode, and today we are going to be discussing
Wow West. Wow West.
Not my belching. Oh my God, that came out of nowhere. Wild Wild West, 1999. I don't have my notes out. What is wrong with me?
June 30th, 1999.
Jacob's failing at his job. Yes, June 30th, 1999. It placed number 17 domestically and number 13th worldwide for actual, sales and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie itself was a huge financial flop, and I literally don't have any of my notes up. I am such a fail. Oh my God.
Pause.
Yeah, okay, yeah. All right, got my notes up now. Yeah, all right. Hey, guess what, guys? I'm now ready to begin the podcast. Fucking A.
Seems we can't escape. Look what number 1 is.
Oh, yeah. I have a different note up right now.
Oh, I was going to say the
domestic?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, number 1 was a Phantom. Well, it was 1999, yeah. Phantom Menace came out that year.
Sixth Sense, Toy Story 2, Austin Powers 2, and The Matrix were those
top
are the
five,
top 5.
Yeah. The Mummy's in here in number 9.
Oh, look at that.
And the Blair Witch Project's number 10.
Green Mile, American Beauty. Oh,
but worldwide, how different is it? The worldwide actually top 10 is almost exactly the same. It is the exact same.
Huh.
For worldwide, that's crazy.
But yeah, Wild Wild West was a budget of about 100. Going on what you said about being a big flop, it was a budget of 170 million. I think.
So I actually have a note here from Wikipedia about that being the commercial disappointment it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Wild Wild West was a commercial disappointment, grossing only 113.8 million domestically and 108.3 million overseas for a worldwide total of 222 million. And it was at the Razzies Awards, the Golden Raspberry Awards. The film was nominated for 8 Razzies and won 5, including Worst Picture and Worst Original Song.
I actually don't really know how the Razzies work.
I don't really know how they work either, but it's kind of like just
we should probably get on that.
Yeah, as I was reading, I was like, I'm getting a little more interested in the Razzies.
Yeah, I didn't really care before.
Because part of it's kind of like a fuck you guys, like that's kind of mean.
It's like
also Worst Original Song. Wild Wild West is a fun song. I like Will Smith's rap.
I do too. But but it's no Men in Black.
I think that's the problem is that it's too much like Men in Black.
Really?
Because Wild Wild West, and then I forget how Men in Black goes in now.
Men in Black.
Wild Wild West.
The good guys dressed in black.
Wild Wild West.
Just in case you've ever face to face
and
made
Wild
contact.
West. You see
title held by me.
Wild Wild West. It's almost the same song.
Why was that funny? Oh man.
But yeah, what do you have more to add on to that?
No, Just I always like to like give a context of what came out, because also so it's so weird. Some of these movies I just automatically think are so much either older or younger, and then when you see them in a list together, you're like, oh, I didn't realize that movie was that old.
Oh yeah, totally. Or it's like, oh wow, I thought that maybe was like older or
like
newer.
I thought Sixth Sense was a couple years older.
Like it was like 97 or 8 or something.
Yeah, like 96, 97.
Yeah.
No. A Big Daddy. I didn't realize that.
I'm actually surprised The Matrix. It's number 5. Oh, it's number 5, but like the Austin Powers did more than The Matrix.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean,
number 1, Austin Powers is a sequel. Number 2,
yeah.
The Matrix was such a weird thing.
Yeah, I guess
such a unique thing that I could see people being like, I'm not into that. Or it was. I think it would have been like, you're really into it, or you really weren't into the idea.
Maybe
of
The Matrix Reloaded like kind of popped off a little bit more.
Yeah,
because after The Matrix, and then like it went to VHS, and like because I guess maybe it kind of did have a slow like growing a following, didn't it? I don't know. It was really big in my household. My
mine too. But I could totally see people being like very like too abstract of a concept.
You enter the computer, the files are in the computer.
It's so simple. Should I go to my synopsis? Or where are we at? What were we doing?
Actually, right before you do your synopsis, I do want to point out that Wild Wild West, that this is based off of a like 1970s TV show.
60s.
Oh, did I say 70s?
Yeah.
1960s.
Yeah.
An American Western espionage and science fiction television series that ran on CBS Network for 4 seasons from 65 to 69.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, this is like a weird reboot kind of concept.
I have a little bit more on that. It's developed at a time when the television Western was losing ground to the spy genre. The show was conceived by its creators, Michael Garrison, as James Bond on horseback. Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen the original show.
Neither have I. But this movie is like, okay,
well, because even the intro.
Exactly, yeah.
The intro was so old school, Bondy kind of feel to it.
The show featured a number of fantasy elements, such as the technologically advanced devices used by the agents and their adversaries. The combination of the Victorian-era time frame and the use of Vernian technology have led several steampunk websites to cite the show as a pioneering influence on the genre.
Yeah, and I'm kind of interested now to find it and see what
that
it was
old
like.
TV show.
Yeah, the old TV show.
I remember that show was like one of my grandfather's like favorite TV shows.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah. And my mom, because my mom was like 4 to 7 when the show was coming out, so my grandpa was really excited to see this movie, and didn't like it.
I don't blame you.
It does have a very big step away from. I mean, it keeps the source material of like Jim West and Artemis, and it kept the idea of it, but then made it its own thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but I feel like with all these, you could have that feeling like Dukes of Hazzard with Sean William Scott and Johnny Knoxville, Starsky and Hutch. All these. What's another one? Starsky and Hutch wasn't bad.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah. It's because you kind of have to keep this 60s, 70s vibe to it, but then you need to also try and make it
accessible
to a modern audience.
Yeah.
But then if you were growing up with that, of course I would assume you're not going to like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure people that were fans of the Adam West Batman show hated Tim Burton's dark take on it.
Maybe. But there's also, I mean, I feel like that's kind of a little bit of a harder one to kind of like step into saying, though, because you have the comics to compare to as well.
There's so much of a lore, just not a TV show to a movie. Yeah. Modern day movie. Yeah,
since like this was literally an old school TV show to just a modern day movie, you know?
Totally.
But I see where you're going with that. But yeah. How about the Tommy synopsis?
Tommy synopsis: a truly bizarre Western steampunk tale that is entertaining but incredibly, incredibly awkward. I found this movie very entertaining, but not for anything it was trying to do.
I know.
For everything that it was kind of failing at.
I know.
I was like,
it was bonkers, man. I was like, what the fuck is this thing?
What is happening?
What is this? What have we created?
Yeah, I thought it was so incredible and so entertaining, but I just
we have so much to unpack on why, too.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh my god,
I love it.
It's incredible. It's incredibly bad.
There's nothing else like it.
It's
completely unique. It's so weird.
It's like watching. I'm like, yeah, this is garbage, but this was fun. I want to swim in this garbage.
It's popcorn garbage. It's
Yeah.
just like just eat it away. But yeah, truly bizarre.
All right, so let's go into our cast, or not a cast,
The creators of
and
it.
whatnot. So this was directed by Barry Sonnenfeld.
Real quick before we really get into it,
Yeah.
I want everyone to really listen to these people because it sounds like you could have had something. And so where exactly
Dude, that's all in my review.
where it goes wrong, I
Yeah.
don't understand. So yeah,
Exactly.
okay. So Barry Sonnenfeld.
So Barry Sonnenfeld, who I want to point out, started as a director of photography in his early career by being the director of photography for Raising Arizona, Big, and Misery.
Oh,
And then his first directing feature was The Addams Family.
1 and 2.
He did
That's
one,
what
and then he did Men in Black 1, 2, and 3. He did Get Shorty, like just to name a few of his movies.
he did Big Trouble. The Big Trouble, which is phenomenal.
That's technically the sequel to Get Shorty, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. Never mind.
No, Big Trouble is a Tim Allen
Yeah, the Tim-
comedy. Which, if you like really dry, weird comedies, that's really funny.
Yeah.
RV with Robin Williams, and then most recently the series of Unfortunate Events series with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
So pretty good lineup.
And so like also with this guy, like he had already directed Will Smith in Men in Black, so
Yeah.
he knew like he knows the star potential of Will Smith. So it blows my mind that the writers. Now this is where things get weird, because you got 6 credited writers, 2 story by, 4 screenplay by. And they're literally in couplets. Like there's Jim and John Thompson, who literally same
Thomas.
writing. Oh, did I say Thompson?
Yeah,
Thomas. Literally same writing career. Biggest ones that I noted on there was creators of Predator and Mission to Mars. Did you write any more down?
No, because now that I'm looking at him, like you covered it by saying the creator of Predator.
Yeah.
So anything going off. So AVP, Predator,
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yeah. They have like they only did the story for Predator, the first one, I want to say.
And then those characters based off of.
Yeah,
kind
and
of
then
thing.
pretty much after that. But then they also did they did the story for Mission to Mars as well.
What is Mission to Mars again?
I don't remember it. I was hoping you would a little bit more.
Well,
I just remember it being kind of a weird thriller, and then like a face coming out of Mars while they were like
oh no, I'm thinking of Red Planet. That's what I'm thinking of.
oh, maybe I'm thinking of Red Planet.
With Val Kilmer.
No, I don't.
Okay. Anyways.
Anywho.
It sounds familiar. I don't remember what it is. Though.
He did a popular movie called Mission to Mars that came out in 2002. But yeah, no, they wrote that. But then you had these 2 people come together, S.S. Wilton and Brent Maddock, who are known for creating Tremors and Short Circuit.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember Mission to Mars now.
Oh yeah, Don Cheadle.
Yeah. Once I saw it on Cheadle, I was like, oh, okay.
Gary Sinise. I think I was
Tim
confusing
Robbins.
with Red Planet though as well in my
That's
mind.
what I was doing. Yeah.
But anywho, so S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock come on to write the screenplay. Tremors, Short Circuit.
Batteries
like I
not
said.
included.
So a lot of like cool like 80s, like very popular 80s stuff. They left for some reason, and then they hired on Jeffrey Price and Peter S. Seaman. Such a bad name. Who wrote the screenplays for Who Framed Roger Rabbit and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, like are the 2 big ones that I pointed out. Like it's like what happened, you know? Like I actually have a little like the thing from on Wikipedia, which also goes into the Kevin Smith story. So if you want to talk about that a little bit too after this.
Well, it's good. Yeah, we can do. But I just like now that I'm actually thinking about it, like talking opposite to you, Predator, Short Circuit,
Tremors.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Grinch. I'm like that. I can see all those
Right.
elements going
Right.
into this,
Right.
but just not meshing. But I see it. Predator with the hair, okay. But I'm like, now that we're saying it out loud, I'm like, oh.
Well,
I
guess-
get why it became this weird hodgepodge melting pot of themes.
So-
and
Before we go any further, I want to bring up the Kevin Smith thing. So like Kevin Smith has a special called An Evening with Kevin Smith, where he does kind of like he tells stories in kind of a stand-up format, and then he has like he answers questions from the audience. And he starts talking about this producer that he worked with called John Peters.
And Kevin Smith is a director, writer.
Yeah, if you're not familiar,
if you're not familiar with Clerks, Chasing Amy, Bob from Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Dogma.
Yeah.
He has a huge career in comedy, mainly dialogue-driven comedy.
Yeah.
And he was asked to write we should post the YouTube link on our blog something, because it's an amazing story. It's about 20 minutes long, but he goes through talking about like how he got hired to do this Superman script and how
Superman Lives.
Yeah,
was the project name.
So John Peters is like the lead producer on this. John Peters also is the lead producer on Wild Wild West. Just to let you guys know. And he talks about the 3 things that John Peters asked for him to do was Superman not wear the suit. Second, Superman was not to fly, and third was to have Superman fight a giant spider in the 3rd act. So what's really funny is like in this little blurb that I have, it goes into talking about like Neil Gaiman also said that Peters insisted that a giant mechanical spider be included in a proposed film adaptation of The Sandman.
It's like, and if you've seen Wild Wild West, you know why exactly this is very pertinent, and maybe we'll get, but basically he was just this producer who I imagine coked out wanted a giant spider in a movie, and you really need to it's Kevin Smith is just a great storyteller.
Oh yeah,
the way he tells this whole interaction. This is over weeks too. This isn't just like one conversation.
Oh yeah, no,
this is like weeks of his life.
It was going into development until Tim Burton was like, no, I want to go with my script.
Yeah, exactly.
Or with my writers. Yeah,
yeah. It's like, so this is like he was just like
meeting with this crazy coked out producer.
Well, that's us saying that. Yeah, because we don't know that, but just,
just listening to the story, you kind of have to infer.
The Evan Williams guy with the Mad Lib.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do a Mad Lib. Fast and Furious 8. Let's do it. You know?
Yeah.
Flying cat car. Yeah.
Pulling some more stuff off of. Did you have more you wanted to say? Any more to add with that? Okay. This is kind of a longer blurb off of Wikipedia, but I feel like this really kind of encapsulates what happened in the making of this film and why it is what it is. So Variety first reported in January 1992. This came out in 1999, mind you, okay? The film rights to Michael Garrison's television show, The Wild Wild West, Warner Brothers had optioned the film rights to the show The Wild Wild West and hired Richard Donner to direct a film adaptation from the screenplay by Shane Black that would have starred Mel Gibson. So Shane Black wrote like Lethal Weapon and stuff. Wait. Donner coincidentally... Okay. However, Donner and Gibson left the project to work on a film adaptation of Maverick in 1994. Nonetheless, the project continued in development stage with Tom Cruise rumored for the lead in 1995. Cruise instead starred in a film adaptation of Mission Impossible the following years. Discussions with Will Smith and director Barry Sonnenfeld began in February 1997. Warner Brothers pursued George Clooney to co-star as Artemis Gordon with Kevin Kline, Matthew McConaughey, and Johnny Depp also in contention for the role, while screenwriters S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock, most best known for writing Short Circuit and Tremors films, were hired by the studio to script the film in April and May 1997. Clooney signed on the following August after dropping out of Jack Frost, while the Wilson Maddox script was being rewritten by Jeffrey Price and Peter S. Seaman.
Wait, pause. He was going to be in Jack Frost?
Yeah, and then he dropped out of that as well.
Oh, no one knows what Michael Keaton for that. He was great.
Yeah, Michael Keaton was great in that. So he drops out of Jack Frost, and now the Wilson Maddox script is being rewritten by Price and Seaman, people who did Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Doc Hollywood. Principal photography was expected to begin in January 1998, but was pushed to April 1998. In 97 December, Clooney dropped out after an argument with Sonnenfeld. Ultimately, we all decided that rather than damage his project trying to retrofit the role for me, it was better to step aside and let them get someone else. This movie went through the most bonkers shit.
Yeah.
Like, little, it was like producers, like Warner Brothers, just like holding onto these rights, just kind of like waiting for the right type of pieces to fall into place.
Yeah.
But then it's like the pieces just slowly got sludged on top of each other.
Yeah.
Until finally this came out. This movie just has like such a weird history on how it got made. Also, I love that it's like it literally went from Mel Gibson and Richard Donner, and they're like, nah, and then went and did Maverick, a remake of a 60s fucking cowboy thing, to maybe Tom Cruise, to he goes and does Mission Impossible, another remake of a 60s thing. Like, I'm like, what is happening? And this started in 1992, and it was released in 99.
Yeah, and it's like, you think that would be a recipe for a good movie.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, no, I have a little bit of that in my review as well. Like, yeah, literally the names involved in this is just... But also, I feel like you ended up having just like these people that had the idea for the story, and then you had people write a screenplay, and then I'm pretty sure a lot of this was John Peters, was probably firing screenwriters. Screenplay writers are like, no, that's not what we want. Where's my giant spider? Like, why is Jim West not flying? Probably had like bonkers things where like, I don't know what to do for this. We need to step away.
Well, the fact that Kevin Smith just like was like, sure, whatever.
I know, like, not even worrying about like
he was just along for the ride, He even says that. Basically, even says that in the interview. He's like,
I'm just remembering when the guy was talking to him about the like, can Brady like fight a polar bear or something?
Yeah,
like
polar bears, the most vicious animals, the most vicious hunters. Like,
do you know anything about polar bears?
No, dude. I don't. No, I just got to hang out with this wackadoo producer.
Oh, man.
Dude, oh yeah, but just, but picturing Nick Cage as Superman is really... Have
you not seen the
fan art?
No, it's not fan art. There's actual footage of him testing on the suit and everything.
But I thought we weren't allowed to do the suit. Didn't he have long hair?
Yeah, he had long hair, and they actually did a weird Superman suit. Yeah.
So like, you could call him like the Man of Tomorrow, Man of Steel, Kal-El. Wait, who the fuck is Kal-El? Yeah. Seriously? Superman.
What? He's son of Krypton. What the fuck's Krypton? The planet he's from.
He's an alien. The planet he's from. Okay, continue.
All right, planet. Go.
That is a really fun, like, convoluted nightmare.
Like, as I was reading this, like, generally I'll find these things on a Wikipedia, and I'm just like highlighting a couple of sentences. I had to read the entirety of it because it was just, I'm like, they're like, the step by step of how this stuff unfolded is completely insane. Which also, like, knowing all this makes sense why this movie came out the way it did, Yeah.
You
ready to move forward to cast? We're not used to talking about cast that much because the last couple of movies didn't have to talk about cast.
Yeah, cast and then reviews.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's pull that up on the screen just so it's easy.
So I just kind of like did the top four. Maybe a quick, so Will Smith is James West. Jim West. If you don't know who Will Smith is, I don't know what fucking rock you've been living under.
This is like at the height of Will Smith-dom as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like Will Smith, like rapper, actor, motivational speaker, funny man.
Favorite Will Smith movie?
Men in Black, I think.
Okay.
Off the top of my head. Yeah, I would have to say, like, yeah. Now I'm drawing blanks on other ones.
Bad Boys.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite.
Maybe
Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2. Their relationship.
Dude, no, Martin Lawrence and him are fucking great in that. Yeah.
It's a nice fucking fish. Some big fucking eyes, but a nice fucking fish. It's like one of the most quotable like action movies I can think of for me personally.
What I said to one of my coworkers today, hey, we ride together, we die together. Pizza boys for life.
Oh my god. Oh, like or when they kill all the like Haitians.
Yeah.
And Martin Lawrence is just like completely like having a mental
breakdown.
He's like, oh no, man, he can't talk. His shit's all fucked up because he just blew a hole in everybody's head. Just like, dude, stop pulling the trigger. He's just losing his mind.
Okay, let's move forward.
Okay.
Kevin Kline, who, if you're not familiar with him, he's most recognizable, I want to say, like from movies like A Fish Called Wanda, if you don't know that. That's kind of like a maybe more of obscure, like dark comedy from the early 90s, late 80s. I know it. I really like it. In and Out is the movie that I always associate him with. I think it's the first movie that I ever actually saw him in, where he plays the English professor teacher that he's like they called out for being gay, and he's like, I'm not gay, because he's about to get married. But then he's like kind of figuring out if he is gay, if he's not gay. Blah, blah, blah. It's a weird movie. Well, funny movie, but interesting for the 90s of like exploring what homosexuality is.
It reminded me of, there's another one I think you'll really like. I can't remember it's a French one off the top of my head, but it's kind of a similar situation. But he's about to get fired, and there's a rumor that he's gay, and then he leans into it to not get fired.
Interesting.
It's like a French dark comedy, but
does he speak French in it? Does he speak French?
No. I'm saying it's a French movie, like kind of what you're describing.
Not Kevin Kline.
No.
Okay,
it's just a movie kind of similar.
He's also done a good amount of voice acting.
Yeah. He's Phoebus in Hunchback.
Did you say Phoebus?
Phoebus.
It's Phoebus. P-H-O-E-B-U-S.
And I mean, Road to El Dorado. I think something, if you're trying to picture him, most recently he was Belle's dad in Beauty and the Beast remake.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's the live action dad.
Oh, okay.
Just something, if you, I don't know, kind of recently. That's
actually good. But like, I didn't even look at his recent stuff actually, so that was kind of my bad. And then Kenneth Branagh, who plays Kevin Kline plays Artemis Gordon, Jim West's like sidekick.
Artie.
He's
inventor.
He's the inventor guy.
Yeah, the inventor guy.
Kenneth Branagh, who plays Dr. Arliss Lovelace. Apparently, they changed his name and character a little bit from the old TV show.
He's kind of like a combination of a few of them, is what I was reading.
The one that they like, the Lovelace character, was actually like a little person, in the TV show, and like so they just chopped Kenneth Branagh in half instead.
His special effects are actually not terrible.
They're not good, and also Kenneth Branagh is wonderful bad guy in this for like the type of bad guy he is.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but yeah.
And you would he's like Mr. Shakespeare.
Yeah, like if I recognize him, but I don't.
I mean, recently you would recognize him from Murder on Orient Express. He's the detective.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was also in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein as Dr. Frankenstein.
I remember him in that. Okay, I remember him in that.
Yeah. But he also directed Thor, the first Thor movie.
Oh, he did? I didn't know
he's also a director, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, I mean, yeah, he's a little bit all over the place, but like...
A lot of Shakespeare.
A lot. He's like literally, yeah. Almost any like film adaptation of Shakespeare, he is in it. Like the really serious good ones, he's in it.
Like high budget, like
although there is like kind of the mockery of like his version of Hamlet where he plays Hamlet. And then they have a scene of him like it's like he literally has like as Hamlet's dead being
spoiler alert
fuck yeah, spoiler, Hamlet dies at the end. You know who doesn't die? Nobody. Everybody's fucking dead at the end of Hamlet.
That's what makes Hamlet 2 so funny.
I know.
There's a time machine.
He's being like carried like there. Okay, not everybody dies because there's people that carrying Hamlet. Okay, but he's being carried, and it's literally like in like a cross-like thing. Like they're like he's Jesus on the crucifix, and was so like actually artistically masturbatory. And it's like, okay, Kenneth Branagh, we get it. You're good at Shakespeare. Moving next, Salma Hayek,
who plays Rita
Escobar, and God, she is so fucking beautiful. I remember the first movie I ever saw her in was actually like From Dusk Till Dawn, and like she's like the dancer girl that turns into a vampire, and just I don't know, I felt things as a child.
Thanks for telling me about your kid boner. I'm trying to think of my first time seeing her.
She's also in The Faculty as the nurse.
Then that's probably it.
And then she's also in a movie with Matthew Perry, Fools Rush In.
Oh no, that's it.
Yeah, and
Yep.
she is.
I love that movie
so much.
That movie's great.
I love all of Matthew Perry's like movies that he was in. You know, because there's Fools Rush In, 3 to Tango, Whole 9 Yards, Whole 10 Yards. I think I'm forgetting one, but yeah, 3 to Tango is really funny with Nev Campbell. Because he's an architect and he gets confused as being like gay partner with his partner who is his architect partner who is gay.
Mm-hmm.
It was played by Oliver Platt. And he falls in love with Nev Campbell, but like she thinks he's gay. I don't know. What's up with the '90s and this like weird explore like fake gay people?
Yeah,
type thing.
I was just like thinking. It's like
I just brought up 2 movies.
And
of
I
that
brought up the
and
French one, and it also wasn't just in like America. It was just kind of a thing, I guess.
The world was discovering what homosexuality was.
I don't know. In a mainstream movie way, I don't know. Weird. That is interesting. I didn't think about that before.
She also plays Frida in Frida Kahlo, thank you, in the movie Frida,
which is amazing.
And she's actually a great casting for that too. Like when just the little bit, adding just a little bit of the unibrow on her and like the lipstick.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, she looks like Frida a lot.
Yeah, she was. This was a pretty womp role for her.
Yeah, it was. There was no character depth with this at all. I've never seen Salma Hayek actually play a role that's like kind of like this.
It's like she didn't need to be in the movie.
No, they could have. Like, she was literally just like I really felt like what the writers did is they wrote like the box of a woman, and they just needed somebody that was attractive.
They made a Bond girl.
Yeah, a box of a woman.
Yeah, which is like really like
something pretty to look at, something to like.
And it was a bummer because I really like her, and I was like, oh, and I don't really remember that when I was a kid. I don't remember.
It's like no, actually, when I was looking up the things, I was like, oh yeah, she is in this movie. Who the? I was like, wait, but what's her?
She?
Like, what's her story? And like, I couldn't remember any. I actually couldn't remember much of the story of this as I was watching it. It was kind of like a refreshing.
Well, like I remember the beginning and I remember the end, and then I saw how long it was, and it's like an hour and 46 minutes long or something. Yeah. I went, what the hell happens in this movie? Because I remember how it starts, and then I remember the, creepy crawly.
Quick little call out to Ted Levine, who plays General McGrath, who was Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs.
The detective in Monk, too.
He's a detective in Monk?
Yeah, he's like the main detective, like the boss.
Not Monk.
Yeah, Monk.
He's not Monk.
No, he's not Monk.
Yeah.
Oh no, okay. I thought you meant like the show Monk. Yeah, Monk.
Yeah, no, he's not Monk.
No, he's not Monk. But he's like
Monk?
He's like his boss. He's like the lead detective.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've ever actually completely seen an episode of Monk.
You really? I think you would really like it.
When it came down to USA shows, like a lot of people are be like, why haven't you watched Psych? I'm like, I don't know, I didn't watch it. Haven't you watched this? But I was really into
Burn Notice. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, Monk. OCD.
I really think Burn Notice was all because of Bruce Campbell, though. Like, I saw Bruce. I was flipping through the channels and I saw Bruce Campbell in a Hawaiian shirt, and I stopped and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And watched the rest of the episode, and I was like, "I'm gonna continue watching this because Bruce Campbell is fucking hilarious."
You should check out Monk. I think you'd like it.
I need to watch. Also, I need to get on Psych. Rebel's been trying to get me to watch Psych.
I couldn't get into Psych.
Oh man, Rebel's not gonna like that. I'm gonna get some texts.
Okay.
No, okay. And then Emmett Walsh. I don't know why I said his name because I can't. He's an older actor. Can you just click on him real quick?
Emmett Walsh?
Yeah. Because like he's a older actor, and like
Blade Runner.
You would recognize him, he's in Blade Runner. That's
the Jerk. Critters are his top, and Blood Simple.
I don't know what Blood Simple is,
but I mean, he's been around for.
Yeah, he's Knives Out. Like,
but that's the thing. He's one of those.
He's always kind of a smaller character.
Yeah, you've seen him for years, but he's never been like the main focus. He's like the coach.
I would love to do a deep dive into his filmography and try to find something where he is a little bit more of like a leading character.
Well, I'm sure he was when he was younger. Yeah, I mean, he's been going since.
Yeah,
he's been going
all the way down to like 1968.
Yeah.
So, but like, like I would love to like. Let's see, uncredited. Aren't a lot of early TV stuff. Cold Turkey, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, maybe. Like,
well, he actually has a name.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, I kind of want
Don Rickles show.
Oh, nice. I want us to try to make a list of like actors like this
that we've seen for our entire lives.
Seen our entire lives, and see if we can like deep dive and try to find something that they are like the lead in.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that. That'd be a fun little project.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are pretty much like the lead actors. I mean, there's all of like Lovelace's like henchwomen, which kind of like are very much on the nose of who they and what they are. Like,
like Ba Ling is the only one I've really ever seen in anything.
And she's Miss East because she's from the East. And then Miss Lippenreader.
So Sophia Ing is Miss Lippenreader because she reads people's lips.
And then Musetta Vander is Munitia.
And she shoots people.
Because she's the shooter, like the ammunition woman.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to pronounce her name. But
Vanderwall. What is it? I don't know how to say her first name.
Frederique? Yeah. I wasn't expecting us to talk about her, so I didn't really look up.
Well, I kind of want them to come up also because I want to bring them up because so these four kind of like
and she's
henchwomen.
Amazonia,
and she dresses like
she's a tall woman,
but she also wears like
Amazon looking
like opera opera kind of like
I mean, so as I feel you're starting to gather here, this movie is a little bit flashy, is a way to put it, I guess.
It's a way to put it. It is a way to put it.
Let's move into reviews so we can start talking more about the movie.
Okay. So I wanted to. Well, I'm not gonna really, because I don't know. I can bring this one up. There is just an article that I'll post on our thing, but it's on Sci-Fi Wire, and it's just called "Wild Wild West Turns 20: Looking Back at One of the Biggest Flops of the '90s." And it's a quick little read, but it goes a lot into the Kevin Smith thing and just. I mean, I'll put that on there for you guys to read. But when it comes to actual just reviews, Roger Ebert, RogerEbert.com, Wild Wild West is a comedy dead zone. You stare in disbelief as scenes flop and die. The movie is all concept and no content. The elaborate special effects are like... Whoa, I'm sorry. Let me start that because the movie is all concept and no context. The elaborate special effects are like watching money burn.
Damn.
David Dempsey, The New Yorker. This movie is exhausting, utterly without feeling and pointless, though Smith looks great in Western outfits. And that was kind of, and I don't know, because then there's also like Peter Brunette, lots of laughs, lots of fisticuffs, lots of cool toys, lots of stuff getting blown up. Who could ask anything more from a summer movie? Like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You got to go into this movie expecting that. Not what.
Well, I mean, even still, it's like, yeah, you're expecting that, but there should still be like some depth, or not. Shouldn't like it's not gonna be soup. Like there should be character growth. You know,
I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, but I wouldn't expect it from this. Or like, here we go. This one's I thought was perfect. Salon by Stephanie Zacharek.
Sure,
Zacharek. Yeah. A movie that is dazzling as you watch it, but immediately unsatisfying afterwards.
That's very
and
awkward.
That's 100% what it is. You're like, oh, that's weird. Oh, that's just okay. Sure. All right. Whatever.
And it's kind of ended. You're like, well,
you're like, oh,
guess I'll go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I guess I gotta pee. Like, I don't know.
All right. So, I mean, these are pretty much encapsulating a lot of my review as well. So what I wrote was, every once in a while, a movie comes along that has the recipe for greatness, to be exciting, funny, and explosive. Wild Wild West has all those ingredients, yet is quite bland. And as a top movie star of his time, Will Smith, working with great actors of credibility, a director that is familiar with the large blockbuster format, but what pulls Wild Wild West down is the flat script of characters that don't really grow or learn anything from their counterparts. There are moments that attempt at character building but seem either forced or glossed over, almost like the writers remembered at the last minute that these characters could have stories to tell. I can see some people being taken out of the movie with the unrealistic steam tech in the time of the mid-18th century, but that was one of the more enjoyable parts of this movie, in my opinion. Without much of a theme to go off of in regards of story, the movie leans hard into a high-action sci-fi western and succeeds at that. I'm not sure if it needed to be more, and it definitely wasn't, and I think that's all right. In the end, I was entertained.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole the best part of the movie was the steampunk cyberpunk tech was cool.
Yeah.
Like all the gears and the hissing and the, like it's just a cool look, like, I don't know. But yeah, if you don't like that, then there's nothing in this movie you're gonna like.
Exactly.
Really,
And what's great is the reveal of the giant spider in that movie.
But it's like kind of I think a reoccurring thing that's going to happen in this conversation too is the fact that so much of it is it's just living in the 60s. It's living in this era of television that they're trying to, even the sexualization.
There was weird, like, I think like the sexualization, I feel like couldn't get away with that in the 60s.
Oh yeah, I think you could. Look at Bond.
Not on a syndicated CBS television show.
But what I'm saying is because they were trying to, they're pulling the Bond bit more.
Yeah.
Even at the end they become secret agents. They were leaning into that aspect. But it was like the sexualization was really weird. It
like when Dr. Lovelace has them like captured the first time, and he's talking about how he can still like enjoy his time with a woman, and then it cuts to like a very phallic
machine
that like starts like pumping.
Yeah,
I'm like, whoa.
Or you see his bedroom, and he has this really weird BDSM like contraption,
and Salma Hayek is just like locked in a bird cage, in
with
a tight corset.
Yeah,
like, whoa.
I was just like, and even when you meet Miss West in the office, and she like lifts up, you see her butt. I was just like,
oh yeah,
these are really uncomfortable sexualization moments that are just come out of nowhere. Even when you first meet Will Smith's character West, and he's in the water tower, and her boobs are just like
floating up.
Yeah,
I remember as a kid, I was like, oh, trying to like look up under into the pool, like, oh, I want to see.
But it was just really weird. I was like, I don't know. That was just really like it really was. It was something I would expect from like an old Bond kind of movie.
Well, I mean, but they lean into that very much in this movie, but it just kind of seemed out of place every once in a while.
It seemed
like it was like they just kind of forced it in there because it felt like this is going to be more supposed to be like a family adventure thing. So kind of like, with Shrek, they have like this stuff. It's like for the family, but those couple little jokes for the adults that the kids are just not going to get.
Yeah, but that's also a lot of that is very like I feel like a lot of the time is very dialogue based.
Sometimes,
but this was very much
that interaction with West and Lovelace when they first see each other, and like just like the back and forth.
Oh, I was gonna get into that in a minute because that's what I'm talking about. How incredibly, horrifically awkward and amazing that was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the whole premise of this movie is that the top scientists from all of America and all their various fields have all been kidnapped in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So President Grant,
Ulysses Grant, who is also played by Kevin Kline.
Yeah.
Brilliantly. Kevin Kline was great in this movie.
Yeah, it's Kevin Kline though.
Yeah.
I always like Kevin Kline. He's funny. Like,
I forgot to bring up that Kenneth Branagh was the opposite of him in Road to El Dorado.
Oh yeah, they were.
It's him and Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah. But yeah, so these scientists go missing, and it's up to West and Jim and Artie to save the day.
Yeah,
basically.
Jim West, who is like a
cowboy.
He's from he was in the army.
Yeah,
he's like an army captain or something.
Yeah, but he's a cowboy.
And then Kevin Kline's character is a U.S. Marshal.
Smooth talking. Lady killing.
Oh, you're talking about Jim West still?
Yeah. It's Will Smith.
Yeah. This movie, clearly you can tell that like what it was written for Will Smith in a way, like which also where Barry Sonnenfeld I really felt comes in hand with this, because him working with Will Smith on Men in Black, he knew how to bring out Will Smith's like humor. Like his comedy chops really well,
like his timing.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing with Men in Black is that there's characters that actually have like conflict and growth throughout the movie. While this Jim West just kind of stays the same person through the entire movie.
And also they didn't really have chemistry like Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones had.
Yeah.
Like Tommy Lee Jones is like the father mentor figure, molding him into this agent.
While they had more of like a competitive competition thing.
Yeah,
which also
was more buddy comedy.
Yeah, what I read from part of the Wikipedia stuff is that was kind of one of the like complaints, I guess, from the original show, is that they took out how like Artemis was more of just like the inventor that would come up with the fun gadgets and they would go on stuff together. But there wasn't like this bickering competition between the two. They were actually like, there might be some like fun banter, but it wasn't like, oh, like I gotta be better than you type thing. So they kind of like added a different element. And also that's one of the things with the script that kind of like pulls it apart, is that they're just, even at the end when like there's a moment where Jim West is kind of like learning like, hey, yeah, what is your plan? What like, you know, because the whole thing is
the
like,
reconciliation moment.
Because like Artemis is the entire time he's just like trying to like, no, we need to stop and actually come up with a plan, while Jim West is like, no, come run in with guns blazing type thing, shoot first, ask later. Or what was it that ULCC Grant says, shoot first, shoot again, shoot some more,
ask questions when everybody's dead.
Yeah.
Kind of. Well, that's the thing. Well, because also it's like Artie's also kind of like, he's kind of the bumbling professor. Like anything that, a lot of the things he tries to do don't work, but then
it's like they work, but they don't work.
But then West comes in guns blazing, and then it works for him.
Yeah,
it's like that's the pull of power wasn't even.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
wasn't.
It was like always West was coming to save the day, which is like fine for this kind of movie,
until like randomly, like the things that did
end.
work were actually kind of like detrimental to what was happening for them, like the pool balls. You know, like
the weird the invention would backfire. Jimmy Neutron. Whatever he made.
It's like it was working, but like then
it didn't work the way you needed it to. Kind of thing.
Yeah. And then Salma Hayek's character just was like, she goes like she's the love interest for both of them in a weird way, and then it's revealed that she was just kind of like luring them along to save what is actually, she says, her father the entire time, but then he's actually her husband. She's like, oh, I haven't been honest with you two. He's actually my husband.
Yeah, and then she was
like, what is the point of all this?
Yeah, and she's like kind of like a plot development thing to cause more kind of bickering between them, because they're both vying for the pretty girl's attention kind of thing. And it was just kind of like a bummer.
Yeah.
Because she's great, and like we were saying, and she just didn't, the character just didn't need to really. You could have easily written around that and not have had that be at all a thing.
And could have just made her character more than that.
Yeah, or just not have that character in there, and it's just the two cowboys going to stop the bad guy and leave it at that.
No, but it's the 90s. You didn't have the weird, sexy woman that has no character.
Yeah, it's just it's very much a movie of its time.
Yeah, and Kenneth Branagh as Lovelace, Dr. Lovelace. He fit that like 1920s, like
he got a lot of shit for it.
Yeah, because it wasn't like it wasn't like a classic role or whatever.
Yeah,
but like I think he did a fantastic job of like leaning into that, like the that stereotypical, like with the villain with like the top hat and the curly mustache, like
yeah, he did the he was kind of like a what was it called then? He was kind of like he was a dandy. A well dressed, but he's tie you on the train tracks kind of Rocky Bullwinkle.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of villain, twisting the mustache and
I've kidnapped the girl. Now I'm gonna put her on the train tracks. Dudley, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's true. He did do that very well.
He did a really good job of that, and his line delivery was like how he actually like portrayed this character that had felt betrayed from America and the South.
Yeah, his logic, his bad guy plot logic was actually like, don't agree, because Mr. South will rise again. Like, I don't agree with you, but he
wasn't even like the South will rise again.
But he's like he will rise again.
Yeah,
from being betrayed by Lee and
he was betrayed by he in his mind he was betrayed by America, like not just the South, and not just the North, but America as a whole.
Yeah, and for context, he had lost his entire bottom half in a battle, and then like via that sacrifice of not only his legs but his like reproductive organs, going back to that sexual thing,
25 inches of small intestine.
Yeah. That was also great. We did not lose our sense of humor. And you're like, like his freakouts were good. Are you
sure?
It's like he seemed kind of tense. But like, so with his sacrifice and then his comrades, his whatever, giving up the war, he took that as a very personal kind of smack to the face, and then has this grand scheme of taking America back and giving it back to the people that the colonists had taken it from. Yeah, so giving back the 13 original colonies
to the British. So it'd be the United States of Britain, Great Britain,
and then giving California, Texas, New Mexico all back to
Arizona,
Mexico. Arizona all back to Mexico.
Florida was Spain.
Yeah. So he's like
the Louisiana Purchase would have been back to France.
Yeah. So he has all these like
But then-
representatives.
But then like kind of like the northwestern, like mid north Pacific Northwest area was just loveless land.
Yeah.
He's like, and that would be a little place that I keep for myself.
A little bit for me to retire on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, like he was actually a pretty good bad guy. The only thing, and you already kind of brought this up, I could not believe that it was happening. And it was just so awkward and entertaining. Was there bickering? Will Smith making handicap puns and jokes. And then, what's his name?
Loveless?
No, yeah, what's his real name?
Oh, Kenneth Branagh?
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh making black people puns and jokes.
And making a lot of slave jokes, too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my fucking God.
Back and forth. And it was just so uncomfortable. And what I realized today, what kind of was like just something that was like, holy shit, this what also makes this worse, is that Kenneth Branagh is not handicapped.
Yeah.
He's not. He's just a white guy saying these horrible slave jokes to Will Smith, who is
a black man.
A black man. And I was like, oh my God.
I mean, what's interesting is like I feel like the movie itself has time era relevant jokes and like about black people. You know, it's like people would be, that's how they would talk back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean.
But this also goes to the fact that you would never make this now. No. But yeah, like, because it's the fucking slave jokes, dude. There's an entire, the hang him scene.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, that was probably also one of the things I kind of like put this movie like on a whoa pop, like in even 1999, some of this was still going a little far.
Oh, all of it. I think all of it. Even the
I mean, I think in 1999's like some of like the homophobia in it and stuff like that. That was kind of like the 90s. We make fun of gay people.
Oh, that's true.
You know, but like the racial stuff, that's a little bit like, ooh. But then I could see like producers being like, "What? We got a black guy starring in it. It's fine."
Yeah,
you know, it's like,
totally.
Dude, guys, this is still like this is really crossing some lines.
I would love to like see an interview with one of them and be like, "What was that like?"
Just talk to like
Will Smith. Be like, "What?"
I would actually love to have a conversation with Barry Sonnenfeld about how it's like working with John Peters.
But I just like got that because there's seriously, I think there's like when they first like meet face to face and have their conversations, probably like a 2-3 minute long conversation, and more than half of it is just I'm gonna stand up to the occasion, and you're like, and then followed with I can't even, I can't even. But you're just like, holy shit! How did you think this was a good idea? And that's what I mean by incredibly awkward, terrible, but so funny because you're just like, this is horrible. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like.
1999 is happening,
Burn
ladies
this
and gentlemen.
to the ground. And it always just came out of left field too. It would just suddenly start one of these pun moment, this battle of wits, I guess, and then it would just end, and then randomly start happening again at random moments. You're like, oh my God, it's so terrible.
So what we talked about Loveless's like his like end game and whatnot. Also, they gave a like a good background story for Jim West, who he was sold
like
as a child. Yeah, he was sold as a child, was raised by Native Americans, and then since he joined the army, and then he went to the place where the plantation that his parents were, where he was sold from. Or to like go meet them, but that had been completely massacred by the stuff that Dr. Lovelace had created.
They were living in a free slaves city.
That's right.
That the Lovelace and the Ted Levine, General Bloodbath McGrath had come in. Basically, like that's the whole thing. Is Lovelace is designing weapons. He's a weapons manufacturer, and they basically use this town as a testing ground. I guess. Yeah. And
testing site for
that's like that's like James West's like main plot driven point is he's trying to get to General McGrath, not realizing that he was like
that McGrath. It wasn't really McGrath. It was actually Loveless,
who was the actual perpetrator of this massacre, and he's gonna fucking kill him.
Yep.
Like very, very non.
And they bring it up for what? It's like a 1 minute and a half piece of dialogue.
Yeah.
You find that out?
Yeah, actually, real quick, this boop.
Yep.
Here's the information.
While Artemis and Jim West are stuck in the desert together. Oh yeah, by the way, it's kind of like, oh, by the way, we need to make sure that Jim West, like, we know why he's doing this.
Yeah.
And don't care about Artemis though, because
you kind of you get
a little bit of it from when he sees McGrath die.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, but you don't get all the details.
Yeah,
and then McGrath gives them the details.
Should we talk more about the spider?
yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it though.
So as we were talking about the what might have seemed really random about the whole spider thing,
I remember I had a thought. It was like, so there's ongoing throughout the entire film with Lovelace's like theme and like his flag or like his insignia and whatnot is a spider. So like they put a really good, like they forced like this like symbolic thing, this like motif of something of Lovelace of spiders, which I also found really interesting due to the fact that he has no legs. So the thing that has 8 legs, that is kind of like predatory, you know, predator, you know.
That's interesting.
So I was like, oh, I think there was actually a little bit of thought put into that, but you know, the script just didn't have much more, you know, depth to it.
Yeah, because also there's like some really distracting things.
Because like even if like the way that his his mustache and beard is cut is like it's like almost like legs, like spider legs coming out of his face.
Yeah,
you know, like they did it like it's very like pointy and you know I think they did a pretty good job with that stuff. It was just a little over the top.
Oh,
what?
They're all coming back to me.
What?
The puns. They're so bad. It's so bad.
Stop thinking about them.
They're so bad. They're so bad.
But ultimately at the end, like fun little like, you know, Artemis. What would you say Artemis's like arc in it is though? Like, because Will Smith's is kind of like he gets his revenge on Lovelace. He does kind of learn a little bit to work with Artemis, but at the end of the day, he's still kind of like stubborn Jim West. But Artemis is what?
Kind of. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of grasping at straws here, but he finally gets taken seriously as an agent
and as an inventor, maybe.
Yeah, because it's like, you know,
he gets his like when he gets the flying contraption working.
Yeah, and like, you know, like the president, when he was impersonating the president, he kind of had a scoff thing, but it's like because of that kind of helped. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of, I guess, like I said, grasping at straws.
I mean, I don't feel like you're grasping at straws. I think you're kind of like hitting it on the head of what it really is.
Yeah, because they're taken seriously as an inventor. And
yeah, you know, because even like when he kind of steps up on the spider thing, on the giant spider that they have to fight on, that I mean, he just kind of like finds his ambition to like be a hero or something.
Yeah, like stepping up to the plate. But yeah, so like the big weapon that they've been designing for the missing scientists.
Oh yeah, well, it was two chemists, two high.
I think it's just chemists.
Chemists. What did I say?
Chemists.
Oh yeah, chemists. I'm thinking. Am I saying chemist? It's chemist. Two chemists, plural.
Yeah, two chemists.
Okay,
cool. Yeah, cool.
What is what's the one with the metal? Armor,
yeah, I don't know.
Metallurgists.
They said it so many times, but none of them clicked for me.
And then two like hydraulicists.
There's a lot of cysts.
So and they have like a moment where like, what could they be building with that?
With these particular scientists, they're like, well, obviously it's going to have armor, obviously it's going to move, and obviously it's going to have some kind of
explosion
of explosives.
And then it was a giant
80-foot tall tarantula, metal, like a steampunk, not like a big spider.
No, it looks like
that's a steampunk tarantula, like
that blows fucking fire cannons out of its mouth.
Yeah, it was
really cool.
It was cool. And I think that's what the Purdue. What's his name?
John Peters.
That's what he wanted. He wanted that reaction. It's people like you.
Yes.
But yeah, and that's like the big bad weapon that is gonna take over the United States.
I do also love that when Dr. Lovelace, when he's fighting West in like the steam room of the spider, and then the 4 legs come out for him.
How did the last guy die?
What do you mean?
So he's fighting the guy. He's fighting the guy with the knife hands.
Oh, you're talking about the metal dude?
Yeah,
that just short circuited somehow for whatever reason. The weird Deus Ex Machina that has no explanation for. Yeah, no, it's like he's short circuited. That's all it looked like.
Like, but I thought I kind of I don't know, maybe it's edited, but I thought he like hit like a light bulb or something.
Oh, did I miss that?
No, I rewound it, but that's what I remember as a kid. Like he went up to hit him, and then he hit something.
Well, the one that's on HBO Max is theatrical. Oh wait, did you see it? You actually did.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, what'd you watch it on?
Amazon.
Oh,
I looked up where to stream it, and it said that you had to just Amazon.
Oh, did you rent it?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, it was on HBO Max.
It was like $2, so. Like,
okay, yeah. You actually did see him like raise it, like it hit something.
No, I remember.
You just remember that as a kid. Yeah, because I have no idea.
Yeah, I rewound it. I was like, wait, what the hell? He just
and then short circuits and died.
Yeah, I was like, so he's a robot? Like,
yeah, I have no idea.
That was weird.
No, because it literally, I think literally is like they had written him into like a Jim West into a corner. Like this is something he can't defeat. So they just had to be like, well, he can't just die here. So it just dies.
Okay. Yeah.
Bad writing. It was bad writing, is what it was.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's so weird too. It could have been just bad editing. Like, oh, we need to lose this.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, people will understand that
they're not gonna.
It's Jim West. He's
there's
the hero.
so much other confusing shit going on. They're not even gonna notice this one.
But also, there's so many situations that Jim West is put into that he just automatically knows how to get out of.
He's one of those. Like he's basically his superpower is luck.
Yeah,
skill definitely, but a lot of it's getting out of
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Just kind of flowing from one instance to another. But yeah, this big tarantula. And they get on it, and they fight with him, and then the whole 4-leg thing. I mean, that was a good moment in the movie when they're like fighting, you know. Yeah.
And especially, that was actually a good arc for Artemis, was when he finally like actually pulls the trigger, because he doesn't believe in using ammunitions.
Yeah.
He thinks that what does he say? Like, I think if it results to a gun, then I have failed as an inventor.
Like I failed my mission if it resorts to physical violence. I think is what he says.
Something like that. Yeah. And so he's holding like his like pea shooter, his like little tiny gun that has one shot at Arliss, and instead of actually doing the bloodshed, he shoots the hydraulic pump on Arliss's little like spider legs that he has to get Jim West to save Jim West's life, essentially. Yeah. So it's like he uses his brains, but he reutilizes the gun. Is this movie very gun pro, like gun positive? Actually, now that I think about it. But yeah. And
then like so the spider's like going over the cliff, and it pauses, and then since.
Oh yeah, they actually have. Yeah,
like Lovelace is back in his wheelchair. It kind of rolls, and they both kind of are hanging off the edge of the spider, and they're having their final like good guy bad guy.
Yeah, because like,
but of course we have to have some kind of racist comment, because that is what we're doing in these conversations.
No, because that's what that man would say too.
Yeah, but Will Smith even was saying shit to him too.
Huh?
Will Smith was also saying like that was like, okay, like anytime you guys talk. This is what we're doing. Got it. Wonderful.
They hate each other. They're arch nemesis.
But he basically he Mufasas him. He throws him off a cliff.
Kind of, yeah. Well, again, the luck. Do you think he saw that body hanging there on the chain and decided to jump towards that? Or do you think he was just going to like die with
I think he was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want like
Loveless needs to die.
Yeah, me or you. If it has to be both of us, okay. And then he pulls the thing, and they go, and then
then the transcontinental railroad can actually put together, because that's actually that's what this movie's building up to. Is Grant's like it's connecting the West and the East together. That's what the whole like thing was for the transcontinental.
Yeah,
and we find out that Salma Hayek's character was actually married to the guy, to the
she
scientist.
Kept saying was her father.
Yeah, because
was that to like keep them romantically interested?
I think so. She was just using her allure to bring them along, to keep her around to get to her husband.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. There's a lot of like in drag scenes in this too, which were.
Really weird.
Random. With both of them.
Yeah.
Will Smith coming out. It's like, what the? was so many like, what the hell is going? This brazier is killing me.
What's fucking crazy about that moment is like Dr. Arliss is about to have somebody murdered and just like, screw that. There's a dancing lady now.
Yeah, that's all he cares about. It's like the guy has his priorities, and they're kind of out of whack trying to take over America.
Oh my god! Could you imagine being like all of the like around the country, like all around the world, people like just like, why is he like just fucking kill the dude and then get to like, like put her on the side or something.
It's like all the diplomats or whatever, and then behind are all like his soldiers.
Yeah,
and then I feel like the diplomats are like, what the hell going? And then the soldiers are like, oh, here we go again.
I feel like no, the diplomats like every single time something was happening, they just had the most blank. It's like they were the worst extras.
Yeah, they didn't react to anything.
It's just like they were just like drones.
This is fucking.
Well, let's would you recommend this movie?
I mean, because it is such a weird thing that I think that a lot of people could enjoy the shock enjoyment that I got.
Yeah,
but also it's pretty racist.
I definitely.
It's pretty.
It's like I would give the warning of the un-PC-ness of it.
It's very un-PC, and not even just from race, but
like and just
sexual
in general,
orientation.
It really leans into a lot of the '90s non-PC-ness in a big way,
in a lot of ways,
and a lot of like how a lot of that was either overlooked or leaned in as like, oh, this is humorous because of race or because of homosexuality or whatnot.
I mean, I still think that back and forth with the puns was just. Something to behold.
I was laughing in such awkwardness.
I was like, it was just like, what's he gonna say next? What's he gonna say next? What are you gonna say next? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was fucking great.
I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I don't. If someone was be like, "Hey, I'm thinking about watching Wild Wild West," I'd be like, "Have fun." But I don't think I would ever be like, guys. I don't think at the end of this I'd be like, everyone needs to go watch Wild Wild West.
No.
I would definitely say that. Like, you don't have to watch this.
No.
If I don't know, if you wanted to, go for it. I mean,
it's definitely a spectacle.
Yeah. It's definitely something
and something we didn't really talk about too much. The special effects are actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, the special effects are great.
Yeah,
especially for 1999. Yeah, it really knew what it was doing. And
it was very.
It was really good. Like in camera work with also like it
was comfortable. Like nothing jarred you out.
Oh my god, it's a man's head.
I think he says it like 6 times.
It's a man's head.
In a very classic Will Smith style.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess this isn't important, but just like a little fun little side note. In a what if universe, Will Smith turned down the part of Neo.
This was for this, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was trying to find. I forgot to look that up, but I was trying to remember if it was this or Men in Black.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was this. It was this because they came out the same year.
And
of course,
he was like, I think he's admitted to this as like the biggest mistake ever. But it's just
he's like, no, he's had two thoughts with that. He's like, yeah, it's the biggest mistake I ever did for my career. But he's also been like, but we wouldn't have the Matrix as we know it because I know they would have catered that movie to more of what I was at that time.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's weird. But that's a fun, like the what if. Like what would have Matrix have been if Will Smith was Neo and it wasn't Keanu Reeves? Would have been funny?
I am the one. I don't know.
Like what Will Smith, I'm like, what would that movie be?
I don't know.
Not I am the one.
I'm trying to think of like Will Smith from like Independence Day.
Yeah, but still
Neo.
He's funny.
Yeah, I know.
He sounds like a comedic beat.
But like
to him.
it's like I feel like it would be more of a like think about him from Independence Day to Bad Boys. There's more of a seriousness to those roles.
What is his first like real serious movie? I'm trying to think.
Oh, he played a guy in a wheelchair in the late '80s. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Well,
but
Ali.
Oh no, this like he's doing serious stuff before this.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, he was doing serious stuff. I want to say around Fresh Prince, even like maybe right before Fresh Prince. Really.
Oh, I've always just I thought he was just really stuck in that comedy bit for a really long time.
He got stuck in that comedy bit because of Fresh Prince.
Oh, okay.
But like because of hip hop, like the movie that I was talking about, he's in a wheelchair and like it's a movie about like heroin overdose. like people dying of heroin. It's about pretty much kids living on the New York streets.
Jeez.
Is what it is. So yeah, bring up his stuff here. Jazzy Jeff, all that stuff. After school special voices. Oh, he's on Blossom for an episode. Okay. Where the Day Takes You. That's the movie I was thinking of. So that's 1992.
King is a young man, but he's already a veteran of life on the streets of Los Angeles. Leader of a group of runaways, King's ex-mentor to a troubled kid, Caesar's gay hustler, Little J, and junkie Greg.
Yep. There he is right there.
Oh, Sean Austin's in this?
Yep.
Oh.
Dermot Mulroney. What's her name? Ricky. I think Ricky Lake is in this one too. Yeah, Ricky Lake.
Ricky
there we
Lake,
go.
Huh.
This was one of my mom's favorite movies when it came out, and I remember watching it a couple times with her when I was a kid. Definitely like way too like adult for me to really understand what was fully happening in the movie.
Yeah.
But like I definitely like picked up on some stuff.
I didn't realize he did so many.
So yeah, go back down. Go back. Keep going.
Enemy of the State.
Enemy of the State, yeah. But Independence Day, so keep going down. 6 Degrees of Separation, Made in America. Oh, he's in a Made in America? I haven't seen the movie in way too long. What's 6 Degrees of Separation? Because that might be his more, like, serious, his other, like... I think that's one where...
An affluent New York City couple finds their lives touched and intrude upon and impaled by a mysterious young black man who is never quite who he says he is.
And Will Smith, I think, is the guy. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, it was really like Fresh Prince that really solidified him as like a comedy guy.
Yeah.
And then doing Bad Boys kind of put him into like a comedy action guy.
Yeah.
You know.
And then as he's gotten like, then he got older, and then he did like Pursuit of Happiness.
I think he was like the highest paid actor in Hollywood for a short period of time.
Well, yeah, like this is his like biggest flop. Of his career. No, I don't know. I mean. Yeah, but going back to, I just thought the whole him being Neo was an interesting.
Oh yeah, that's where that came from. This is a weird tangent we went off to end of this episode on.
But yeah, I mean, watch it if you want. I don't know. Yeah. It is like I can see it being really uncomfortable. But if you're like us, I guess there's
you want just some like popcorn, you know.
Yeah,
it's literally it's got a 4.9 on IMDb. I can totally see why. I could see it being lower. I don't see it being higher than like a 5.2 at any point.
Yeah. I mean, like in one of the biggest, the biggest saving grace is probably the special effects because there's not really a lot of chemistry between anybody. Loveless he's a charismatic villain, but he's also just all he does is say racist puns for a majority of it. He has a couple cool like bad guy freakouts of just yelling.
I feel like it's a couple like when he's leaving on the train. I feel like that's kind of a very villainous monologue. But it ends in the very villainous. And then I'm telling you where I'm going because I think you're gonna die.
Yeah, like the overcomplicated James Bond death, where it's like, just kill them. Don't do this whole kit and caboodle thing.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Skip
it if you want. I don't know. Watch it if you want. Again, like we always say, live your life, do what you want.
What do you want to do?
Fair warning, it's not PC in any way, shape, or form.
I think we can probably wrap it up today.
Yeah.
Next week we're doing a banter.
We don't know what we're doing.
I think we're just going to talk about some video games and stuff.
Oh, we might be talking about that movie. Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah.
Army of the Dead.
Yeah, we might discuss a little bit Army of the Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for checking in and listening.
Like and follow and
make sure to share with friends and whatnot. And
yeah. Thank you. So this is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Bye bye.